Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi. I'm just recording this session, so please feel free to put your screen off if you want to. Just give it a moment, see who comes in. But hi to those who are here. I hope you like my new backdrop. It's my husband has finally finished creating a little music studio / space for me to do this kind of thing. I have an incredibly rock and roll backdrop.
Looks good.
Far more rock and roll than I ever was. But anyway.
It'll go really well with the your rebel cards. I love it. Very cool.
It will.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
G'day.
Hi, everyone.
G'day, Amy. Hi, Julia.
Hi.
Lisa. Hi, Vicky and
Hey.
Emma.
Amy.
Oh, lovely to see everybody. So I'm going to go straight into the meditation in a moment, but just a quick thing. If people haven't seen the site today, I'm rethinking and plotting and planning around how the sisterhood's going to be working. So if you can join me on Monday for a planning session, a slightly longer 45-minute planning session, then I would welcome you all to come to that space and let's connect and figure out what it is we want from this space, because I think we've all been a bit lost in our little worlds since December, and January. And I'm calling us back in. If any of you watch the video, you'll know I am calling us back into the space, full power. I'm coming back to the space full power. I feel like I was very much la there with kitchen situations, followed by finishing these cards up and chicken pox and all kinds. But yes, February I feel is our new year. Anyway, I shan't go on. I want to begin with the meditation. So what I'm going to do is just mute you all, or you can feel free to mute yourselves as well. Welcome, Sue. Hi, Sue.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, Sue's a new member who's come along. She's doing the minor arcana journey with us, so with some of us.
Welcome.
So lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to mute everyone and we will begin the session. This is the meditation session, so if people feel that they want to switch their screens off and just chill out and kind of be in their own private space, then you are more than welcome to do that. To begin, I just want to say the meditation session today will be focused on the idea of the fear that stands in the way of our passion. This is something that I've been talking about in the group, on the network, if people have got around to doing it. It's probably inspired by the Wands journey as well that some of us are taking, because I feel that the Wands pull us into our creativity and a journey towards some kind of realization of self. And to get to that point, we have to overcome so many fears and anxieties and all kinds of stuff. So this meditation will help us give over to whatever it is we need to move forward to, the fears that we are trying to move past, which can be very, very difficult and insipid little things that we sometimes don't even realize are there, and they feel almost like they're protecting us. But we're going to do away with some of those tonight, or at least set us on track to do away with some of them. Before we begin the meditation, I just want to pull a few cards. So these cards are for the group, they're for the meditation. The meditations, for those of you who are new to this group, are things that I work through as I create them, as I'm speaking them. So pulling a few cards is also for my benefit, to help kind of align us all in the same direction. So I'm very happy to report that I have finally found my little baby mini animal cards, that I don't think I sell these little mini ones anymore. And I lost them. I couldn't find them for a while, but then I found them in the bottom of a tarot reading bag that I must have had at an event. So I was very pleased to see them. So I'm going to pull one of these for us to help kind of direct us for this evening's meditation. Okay. I like this. It's a little opossum coming with some very practical advice, actually, which I think is wise. You know, it's lovely to woo-woo our way out of fear and to kind of meditate our way out of fear. It's also really nice to do what this opossum says, which is have a plan, use common sense, honor the strategy that works best for you. And I think that's kind of cool. I think sometimes we might look to Instagram or look to people around us and think, oh, I should just jump out of my fear and straight into my passion. Well, actually, no, sometimes you need to take a little bit of time. There needs to be some planning. There needs to be some healing, some growth. Sometimes it takes years, and that's okay. It took me the best part of 18 years to overcome my last lot of fear. So I'll be judging no one. So have a plan, use common sense, honor the strategy that works best for you. And it doesn't even matter if you're not quite sure what that is yet, but hopefully this evening's meditation will help you begin to think around that. And then I'm going to take us one of these earth magic cards so that we're bringing a little earth energy into the meditation too. So we have shape-shifting and clouds. And I think this is gorgeous guidance. It reminds us that we all have the ability, innate ability to change and to grow. And we become quite compressed by cultural expectations and the things that we think we should be, the things that parents, you know, taught us to be or pushed us in the directions of, then colleagues and friends at school, teachers, careers advisors, all of these different people who put us in various boxes, and it becomes easier to just adhere to those. Though I am discovering, and I'm sure many of you have discovered at times in your life, that we do have the ability to shapeshift and to grow into something completely alternate and different to the boxes that we were placed in. And passion truly is a compass. It's a real life gift that informs us what we should be doing. And of course, it's the fear that kind of then creeps in and stops us from thinking of that as a reality, although it is a reality. And the clouds are up there going about their business, changing shape all of the time. And none of it's good and none of it's bad. It's just is what it is. There's no duality there. It's just 1 minute they're fluffy white clouds, then they're rain, then they're snow, and they accept that change as it comes, and then they know that they'll return back to whatever it was they were originally and keep on going. Whereas we get quite afraid. Oh, hang on, sorry, Annie can't get in. Okay, bear with me a second. But yes, shape-shifting, that's something that we're all capable of doing. Let me see. Has anybody got the ability to send Annie the link, please? Because I haven't got my phone with me. And we'll just continue. If someone could do that, that would be fantastic. Then I'm going to take one final card. We need a goddess, I think, to guide us on our journey this evening. And we're going to use the Divine Feminine Oracle by Megan Watterson. So let's give these a quick shuffle. Okay, so our goddess, divine feminine deity for this evening is the white buffalo calf woman. And her message, she's the prophetess of the sacred way. And her message here is, my heart is a compass, which I'm pretty sure I said something along those lines a minute ago. So I'm going to claim that now. The path of love is true abundance. So when we think about what our passion is, what is our passion really? Is it love? And loving the things that we do and the things that we want to do and the ways we want to live. And that compass being far more abundant and profitable not materially, but just in terms of happiness and joy and well-being, than any other way of understanding the world. So I'll just read her little bit in this book, and then we'll move into the meditation. Okay. When your soul selects her card, White Buffalo Card Woman is a sacred reminder that we don't have to struggle to receive all that we've desired. When we join our heart's longing with action, we find that there's a sacred way to move through the world. This sacred way is a path of steady, quiet alignment between the heart's intention and our every step. White Buffalo Calf Woman is an omen of hope that all will be provided for us when we approach each situation with love. What she wants us to focus on is the intention behind an action, because that changes the outcome. She's a sacred prophetic sign that we can receive what we need without fighting for it or trying to secure it through manipulation. When prayer joins right action, when we move from that intention of creating only more love, then abundance is inevitable. And when we seek not just for ourselves, but also for the benefit of our loved ones and community, our needs are divinely met. The most sacred path is the one abundant with love. And her soul voice meditation is, what is my intention for the work I am currently doing? So just some things to chew over. I love her message, particularly as we're working through the idea of moving past our fear and using desire, hope, love, passion as a compass. Okay, so I'm going to invite you now to close your eyes and relax as we move into a meditation. So this is a guided healing meditation. We might use some energy work, and I'll ask you to just envision it within your own mind with your eyes closed, and just go along with sorry, I'm getting distracted by your chat. Well, Annie's here, so that's good. Welcome, Annie. And I guess I'll have to look at new ways to sort the link out and see what we can do there, but we'll do that. I'll do that in a week. Okay, so close your eyes, take a nice deep breath, and we'll come to a moment of breathing together. So if you place your hand with your left hand here, first over your heart, and then right hand over the top. And just to bring us all into connection with this moment and with each other, we'll take 3 nice, deep, deep, deep breaths, as deep as you can go, in through the nose and out through the mouth, and make them nice and slow. Nobody's watching, so you can just really take your time. And with each breath, just imagine that you're dropping a little deeper into yourself. And then just keeping your eyes closed now, and you can keep your hand over your heart, or you might wish to place it on your knee or over your womb, whatever feels most comfortable. If you're lying down, you might wish to just put your arms to your side. Just welcoming in a few moments of peace before we begin. Just allowing yourself to relax and start to feel into your heart. So what is sitting in your heart right now? It's all well and good me talking about the heart as a compass or passion as a compass, but it's difficult perhaps to identify with that if maybe your heart is full of fear or sadness or worry or stress. perhaps tragedy, trauma, grief. There's all kinds of things that we can hold in this space. And just breathe consciously into your heart, envisioning that the breath is going straight, not just to that muscle, but to that spiritual space within, that energetic space where you hold so much of your feeling. And just really filling that space with your breath, filling your heart with your breath. And just consciously imagining the breath as almost like a torpedo that's moving in and helping to dissipate and break up any difficult feelings that are there. It might be that you feel you need to take deeper breaths to do this. Or just breathing gently into this space, allowing the breath to flow through you, removing, shifting, making space for something else, something that feels a little bit more like passion, a little bit more like desire. Perhaps imagining that there might be, if you feel that there are any blocks around your heart at this moment in time, that they are beginning to crumble away like an ancient old wall, and every breath acts like a tornado of wind that comes in and just breaks that wall down, breathing it out, sending it back to wherever it came from. And as you sit with your heart as your focus, your heart as the attention area or space that you're breathing into, that you're consciously bringing your mind to, allowing any resistance to subside, so softening in the heart, allowing the heart, as that stone wall crumbles, to become more like soil. And soil always holds the potential for life, even in its darkness, even in the cold of winter. And feeling like this soil is expanding, creating almost like a bed within your chest, a bed of soil, a place of compost, an area which you can begin to perhaps plant some seeds. And there are 3 seeds that we are going to plant tonight to begin the evening. And each seed has a word associated with it. And when I say these words, I don't want you to feel any particular way about them, because it might be that you have ideas about what these words mean, but we're just going to take the energy of these words and plant them within this soil in our heart, and just trust that this will grow forward in the way it needs to, in the way the divine wants it to go. So the first word, the first seed that you are going to plant, I want you to imagine holding a seed in your hand. So what shape is it? How big is it? Is it a large seed, like a bean or a pumpkin seed, or is it a teeny tiny little dot of a poppy seed, or is it somewhere in between? And just gazing gently upon this one perfect seed that holds so much potential. And we're going to infuse this first seed with a word, and the word is passion. And passion can, of course, mean all kinds of things, but for the purposes of this evening, it's just passion for you, passion for your life. Passion for living the life you came here to live in all of its glory and all of its difficulties, but engaging with that passion. So gazing upon your seed and perhaps taking a moment to consciously name it in your mind. I name you passion. I infuse you with passion. I invoke passion into you. And then when you are ready, I want you to imagine bringing that seed to your chest, to that soil that you have created, where you broke down walls and blocks. And even if it's only a very small space of soil, no matter how much soil you manage to envision in your chest, in your heart, I want you to plant that first seed in there. And as you do so, tucking it in, patting it in like a baby, bedding it in, covering it over, and then breathing into it, breathing your life into this tiny little seed. And just trusting that the seed will unfold and unfurl in its own ways when the time is right. But that in consciously placing it here, you've set something in motion. And moving now to the next seed. So again, looking down to your hand and imagining another seed materializing into your hand, and it may be that it looks the same as the last seed, or it might look quite different. Might be colorful. It could be a neon seed. We can use our imaginations here to really get wild and wacky if you want, or it could just be a plain old seed, whatever works for you. We're just taking a moment to gaze upon its color, its shape, and feel its lightness in your hand. And we're going to infuse this little seed with a huge concept, actually. Another huge concept, I should say. And the concept, the theme for this little seed is faith. Because this is what you come to the Cosmic Sisterhood to explore your faith in yourself, your faith in your growth, and your faith in some version of spiritual existence that perhaps you're still trying to figure out or sit with or work out or live with or explore or become or study. And that faith, such a tiny small seed of a thing, is life-changing. It allows you to see the world in a rainbow of colors that many people might not see if they did not have that faith. It allows you to see patterns and signs and magic, and to recognize that there is something more, even if you can't quite put words to what that is. But that recognition that as you go about your day-to-day business, that there is some other divine force, some higher power, some magic coming along for the ride with you. And we probably don't often think about that very fact, that we have faith. But let's consciously bring ourselves to the fact that we do have faith. And that faith right now is in your hand as a little pearl of a seed. So taking a moment to name your seed. I name you faith. I invest you with faith. I invoke you to faith. I empower you with faith. And when you're ready, imagining bringing this little seed to the soil in your heart, making a little space for it, tucking it in, bedding it in, patting it down. And then breathing deeply into that seed, almost as if you're watering it with your breath, giving it life, giving it its best chance of growing legs, of growing stalks, of blossoming, of blooming, of becoming whatever it is it's going to become within you. So we have our passion as a compass, and we have our faith as our backbone. And so now we're going to come to our third little seed. So imagining holding your palm out and a third seed materializing into your empty palm. Again, it might be a very different looking seed, a different shape, a different feel, a different weight, a different color, or it could be the same as all the others. It's entirely up to you. And as you gaze upon it, we're going to give this seed a theme and a name just like the others. And this seed's name, its theme, is possibility. Because sat alongside your passion and your faith are all kinds of possibilities that perhaps you haven't considered, or you haven't opened yourself to, or you haven't allowed because of blocks and fear. And yet these three things together create an empowering recipe to movement forward. Because when we have passion, we can follow our hearts. And when we have faith, we feel safe. And when we have possibility, we have a huge unknown to walk into, but an unknown that feels exciting and full of opportunity. And whether those opportunities and possibilities are ones that we create for ourselves or that are gifted towards us because we happen to open ourselves out, it doesn't really matter. But the world is full of possibility if we open our eyes, if we are willing to accept them and receive them. So gazing down onto your seed, taking a moment to name it. So I name you possibility. I invoke you to my own possibility. I embed you with possibility. And when you are ready, bringing that seed to the soil that you created in your heart, making a little space for it, planting it deep down, bedding it in, patting it down, and taking a beautiful, big, life-filling, life-giving breath to infuse that seed with exactly what it needs to grow. And now there we have our three seeds connected within us, planted at the same time. And we promise that we will honor these three concepts as we move forward past fear, past anxiety, towards whatever our passion points us in the direction of. So just taking a few moments of silence now to just be with those seeds, with those words, passion, faith, and possibility. And just breathe them in now. Imagining them perhaps putting some gentle, easy roots down, bedding in, maybe just cracking open slightly with your breath, and trusting that they will grow when the time is right. So just taking a moment now with passion, faith, and possibility stirring in your heart. Taking a deep breath now. We're going to begin a beautiful journey together as a sisterhood, as a collective, into our imaginations, sourcing some spiritual guidance to help us really connect with these concepts and these ideas. So I want you to imagine that you're in a beautiful natural space. So you're out in the open, out in nature, somewhere that feels really divine and comfortable to you. So it may be somewhere you've been in real life, somewhere you're familiar with, or it could be a place you've been on holiday, a place from memory, somewhere you'd like to go, or just a place that is entirely of your own imagination, some beautiful imaginary spot in the world. And just taking a look around and noticing what you can see, what plants, trees, birds are around. Feeling really safe and really peaceful, and beginning to now walk through this space, exploring it a little bit. Feeling as if you're searching for something or someone, as if you've been invited here, as if your soul has been waiting to come to this moment for some time. And you're just trying to recall, just trying to fathom some kind of memory of what it was you agreed to come to this space for, and what it was you were supposed to show up for. Was it an assignment or was it guidance? But it feels very, very familiar, almost like deja vu. And walking around this natural space, you realize that you know it very, very well. And it feels deeply familiar, like a garden of your spirit, a space of your soul. And recognizing that this moment could be quite a fated moment, a turning point, a curve in your connection with yourself and your life in this body, in this life that you're living. That perhaps for a while you've been looking for some kind of change, some new understandings, some personal growth, some development, and feeling like this space that you found yourself in could be a catalyst, a jumping off point into some further exploration, some passion following. Again, just wandering around, trying to connect with the reason why you're here, and recognizing that sometimes we can't quite know the exact reasoning or the rationale or the why of anything, but recognizing that we are here and there is purpose, and that it all feels sweetly synchronistic, and as if this moment we are meeting with holds something, and a bit like every moment that we meet with holds something, even the most boring of moments, even the most dull, they all hold a bit of space, a bit of time, a little slice of possibility. And this moment in particular, in the depths of meditation, in a garden or in a natural space that feels divine, feels too as if you were quite meant to be here, that you stumbled upon this place on purpose, accidentally on purpose. So wandering around and just gazing at flowers. Perhaps the bumblebee lazes its way past you. And you notice that the sun is beginning to go down. Maybe it's late afternoon, early evening. And so the light is starting to shift and change now. So it's not bright daylight, but nor is it dark. It's somewhere in between, that kind of magical dusky space, that space where it feels like connected to something a little more, like you can almost see something out of your corner of your eye that's not there, but that feels safe, that feels loving. You don't feel alone. You feel held in this space, almost as if there are pixies and fairies at your back, but they're not quite showing themselves. Angels, maybe guides, some other kind of higher power or being that feels safe and loving and supportive. And you might feel tickled or pulled to go in a particular direction as you wander around this natural space, maybe finding a path or a gate or a doorway and feeling compelled to move towards it, becoming more relaxed and happier within this space as you do so. And whatever you're walking down path or through a gate or through a door, you come to a very open space. And in this open space, in the distance, you can see a bonfire. And around this bonfire, you can see 3 figures warming themselves, perhaps toasting marshmallows or just chatting amongst themselves. And as you move closer, you will notice that these 3 figures are all older women. They're all crones, wise women, holders of great wisdom, ancestors, maybe your own ancestors, maybe grandmothers or great-grandmothers or great-great-great-great-great-grandmothers who you couldn't possibly remember, but there's something about them that feels deeply, deeply familiar. And they welcome you, they wave to you, they call you in. And so you wander over quite happily, quite contentedly. You're happy to see them. And it feels like you've seen them 100 times before. And you sit down at the fire with them, and perhaps they offer you a drink or a marshmallow. And you feel very held in their company, as if even just by being with them, You're receiving understandings and healings, that energy contains something that shifts something within you. Perhaps those seeds start to crack a little more. The recognition between you and these three crones, these three wise women, feels deeply empowering. And they all three of them hold hands, and they offer their hands out to you. And you take their hands and you sit in a circle around this fire, not speaking, just being in communion, being in physical connection. And recognizing that this physical connection holds a deep healing for you, a deep healing that comes from millennia ago, from the magic holders of your own lineage. And there is power streaming through these women into you, helping to align something within you that perhaps had felt off or awry or missing. It's almost like electricity or lightning. This huge degree of love, unconditional love that is pouring forth from their hands into you as they gaze at you with gentle eyes. It's almost like you can feel the energy infiltrating your entire system, physical system, etheric system, energetics, mental, emotional, working on parts of yourself that you didn't even know there was a problem within, helping to lift curses. And when I say curses, I mean the curses of a culture that puts expectations on you, curses of well-meaning parents and siblings and friends, curses of childhood where somebody has said something to you and it's just stuck, just one meaningless comment has stuck and you can never move past it, those kind of things. These dark recesses of self, these areas where we place blockages upon ourselves based on what? Some myth, some word, some sentence, some happening. These women are shooting energy, healing, loving, powerful, abundant energy through you, helping to lift these curses and remove these blockages that you've allowed to sit within you. And as these are shifted and as they are removed, you're making space for new understandings, making space for all of those possibilities. You're making space to shapeshift and to become a being who follows her heart as if it is the only compass in the world that exists. As if your heart is the most advanced satellite navigation system you've ever known, that your emotions dictate to you exactly how you feel, and you listen and you understand the messages that are being passed, because we all so often repress our emotions. But these crones, these women, are reminding you that your emotions are exactly the evidence you need to understand who you are. So any lid that you've placed on top of how you feel is being blown out of the water as the passion rises within you, as does the faith. And with these things comes the possibility. It's almost like a beautiful storm of power is being passed from these crones through to you. And as you breathe out, it's taken away, burnt off by the fire, revisited back to the universe. And you just become so open. This is how you feel as you continue to hold hands with these abundant wise women who have nothing to give you but the depths of love. You lean back and you gaze up at the sky and notice that the stars are beginning to come out, maybe the moon. And you breathe in and the women breathe in. And the healing continues around and around and around. And you notice that the healing is not linear, that you have healed a great deal in your life as it is. And as they pass their healing to you, you are also passing healing to them for the things that you have cured in your lineage, the things that you have rectified for future generations. The growth, the personal growth that you have experienced in your life might be something that they were never able to experience in their lived lives, and you are passing that healing backwards to them. Like a cyclone, like a circle, like a spin of healing is going round and round and round. And as it does, you elevate and they elevate, and you evolve and they evolve. And the evolution creates a beautiful typhoon of growth, of possibility, of becoming, because that's what you're doing, is you're becoming your highest self with the permission and the love of these beautiful, bountiful souls who are sat with you, holding your hand, singing with you, gazing at the stars, reminding you that your heart is the compass, that your love is the compass, that your passion is the compass. And there's no talk of fear, because fear is just a myth that you've allowed yourself to believe. Feeling like parts of you are swirling through the cosmos. Other parts of you are burying deep into the soil beneath you. And all of this is creating depths of understanding. And you don't have to understand right now. And you don't have to do anything but listen to my voice and envision these things happening, and trusting that things are being set in motion that allow for your growth, that allow for you to put anxiety to the side, and that allow for you to explore your passion and your faith and your possibility. And the energy that became so heightened is beginning to ebb away now. And the women release your hands, and you all sit there together, blissed out on one another's company, on the love that has been shared. And perhaps one of the women is singing or humming. And maybe there's dancing. Maybe you want to dance. Maybe you all dance around the fire, or perhaps you just sit and gaze and sing and hum. And there's no speaking. It feels like anything that they wish to impart to you comes across through their energy, or almost as a telepathic message. They don't need to vocalize it, because their connection with you goes beyond language. It's a deep, soulful, and also physical connection. And as you sit amongst these wild, wild women of your own kin, just being held within their company, I want you to feel into the messages that they have for you. And in particular, I want you to let them name you. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to be quiet and just allow you to have a connection with them, to speak telepathically with them, and to let them give you a name, something that goes beyond your everyday name, a special name, a sacred name. So beginning that communication with these women now. It's becoming quite dark now. The sky is a bowl of stars, and you and your 3 wise women look up to it and recognize together that you will always be together. You always perhaps have been, and that their wisdom finds its way to you. So before you leave their company, making a promise to listen out for their wisdom coming through to you through the wise voices of your own mind, your gut instincts, your intuitions, perhaps through signs and coincidences and wise words of other people. Taking a moment to thank them for their presence here tonight and for the healing that they have offered you, and trusting that this healing does not end here. It perpetuates itself over and over, and you will feel it moving through you, through shifting understandings, through your tolerances changing, through your desires making themselves known, through your responses being different. Over the coming weeks and even months, and taking a deep breath, looking up to the sky again in your mind's eye, envisioning the most beautiful night full of stars. And as you look back down to the fire, you notice that your women have gone now, evaporated back to the spiritual space from which they came, and they've left you with the fire. Just gazing at that now, pulling in its warmth and its energy, and grounding yourself into the elements of the earth. And now the fire starts to dissipate away. And you might wish to imagine yourself wandering back to the beautiful natural space you found yourself in originally, back through the gate, back up the path. Or just compelling yourself there in the mind, just deciding to be at the place you came in on and just being there. And then bringing your attention away from this beautiful natural space, thanking it for all it's brought to you tonight. And now bringing your attention to your room, just keeping your eyes closed for a moment, but your body. How does your body feel? You might want to kind of run your hands over your legs, up and down your arms. Perhaps rub your hands together, create lots and lots and lots and lots of heat, and then place it over your eyes, over your cheeks. Maybe giving yourself a little bit of a temple rub. Taking in a nice deep breath. Just composing yourself, bringing yourself back to the room. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. I hope that was nice for everyone. So I'm not going to force you all to come back and talk to me or anything like that. I hope you enjoyed the meditation. And what I would like to draw your attention to before I finish the session is I have put in the chat a little link and I've put share your experience here. So if anybody caught my video the other day, I'm very keen on getting you over to the Mighty Network space. So I would love it if you have the energy, if you feel that you can, if tonight or tomorrow, if you go over to that post, it's just basically an opportunity for you to share whatever you feel has come out of this meditation. If the wise women gave you a name, you might wish to share that there. Anything else that came up for you, I would love for you to share, or even, you know, just to say that you enjoyed it or whatever. It'd just be lovely to get some reflections on that over in the Mighty Network space. Okay, so thank you everyone for being here. I did record this session, so I will be posting that up on the Mighty Network too. So it will be there as a resource for you to do again if you ever want to. And of course, don't forget all the previous workshops that we have are up on there, and you can go back and you can revisit them and do the meditations, or if we've had a special guest, you can do their meditations. So hopefully it's becoming quite a good resource for those kind of things. All right then, so I'll hopefully see some of you Monday, which, as I mentioned before, is going to be a planning session, a slightly longer planning session, where I want to invite you all in to come and give some feedback and let me know what you love about this group and what we can do more of, what we can do less of, how we can streamline things. But we'll talk about that on Monday. So thank you for being here. Go get grounded, take some deep breaths, drink some water. Michelle, have a lovely trip away. Everybody else, have a great night's sleep. Love you all. Thank you for being here. See you Monday.